Greetings, Autobots, and welcome back to Autobot ASMR. Oh, I've been looking forward to this one, folks, because recently I managed to get a hold of the super highly anticipated latest Optimus Prime for my collection. The Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. And it has been a absolutely fantastic time just handling this guy and messing around with it, transforming it on and off camera. And as soon as I opened it, I was like, this is going in a video. But then after I actually felt around with it and I got my hands on it, I realized this thing's really this one's a bit special, folks. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump straight in with the vehicle mode. So Optimus Prime is a red and blue truck, specifically a flat nose cab truck with a very interesting new look. And Rise of the Beasts, Optimus has more pronounced sort of, I'm not too sure what these parts are called, but he has this really cool sort of plastic bull bar in place, which you could see in a bunch of deleted scenes where he was ramming Scourge off the road, which I'm sad they deleted that. It was such a cool scene. Just seeing him drive down and smashing Scourge off the road and seeing that truck just tumbling through the air. Oh, it's incredible. I'm telling you, there's so much cool stuff in this movie. But let's take a closer look at the truck, because if you come in here, you'll see a lot of really neat detail, as there's this lovely red plastic, this unpainted red plastic, but it's got a nice sheen to it, and this lovely lick of silver paint that goes all the way around the front of the truck. And even if you look closely, there's supposed to be a little area there in the movie, it would say Freightliner and have the Autobot insignia. But come round and this lovely silver streak continues all across the truck. And yeah, it's like the cab, I think, looks near perfect. The only issue I have is these little unpainted grey bits just kind of clutter the look, but everything else from the front to the side, and the smokestacks too, these large imposing smokestacks. It's a proper truck, not those piddly ones you see on the Michael Bay Studio Series figures. I like that mould, but I don't like the short smokestacks. It looks kind of ugly. Well, speaking of ugly, segueing in rather neatly, come round to the back. It's clear that they kind of ran out of budget with the back of the truck, because the wheels look alright, but the truck bed, you can clearly tell that his feet just stuck together. Then come around here, which these are going to be his legs, or shins, legs. I know my head's all over the place. I'm just really excited to do this video, so if I'm a little bit ditzy or absent-minded, don't pay me any mind. Oh, I love it. I've been looking forward to doing this guy for so long. He's finally here, and he's brilliant. But yeah, like the Studio Series 38 Bumblebee Optimus had a very interesting transformation, which I will get around to filming that someday. Pretty much every Optimus in my collection I will film, because Optimus is my favourite Transformer, and this iteration of the character is one of my favourites that I've ever seen on screen. I thought his arc was terrific, but you guys didn't come here for a movie review. As much as I'd love to talk your ear off about Rise of the Beasts, we've got a figure to get into, folks. So let's get stuck into the transformation. Optimus Prime, transform! So what you're going to want to do first is just come around here and separate these little pieces. You can see they're plugged in here with a little tab and a little socket right here. So just untab them and just separate the legs, but don't separate them too far, otherwise you might accidentally stress the plastic. So take this part and just pull it out. Come around to the feet. Oops, put the leg there and rotate the foot around so it's facing forward. Come around inside and you'll see there's a little section here. You're just going to grab this with your index and your thumb, bring it down about here so it doesn't clip the space or get in the way of this coming down. Just bring that down, and then you'll see there's a little tab right there. I'm sorry if that's in the road, but there's a little tab right there where that just comes in. So sort of bring that out, and then there we go. You see the way it just comes nicely into place, and then we've got one badass looking leg. So let's do the same thing on the other side. So just bring that down, bring this down, and let's see. Teething problems, folks. And there you have it. There you have Optimus Prime in his evil truck with pants mode. The truck from the depths of it came from the depths of Cybertron. Nah, I'm only mucking around. That's the legs all done. So, now you're just going to untap these little skirt pieces. Now, here comes the cab. Now, the cab is where all the main meat and potatoes of the transformation happen. So, stick around, you'll see something pretty cool. So, take these little panels and just bring them up. And then plug them in. And how friggin' cool is that? You go from nothing, it's like robot in disguise, but then you reveal the insignia, a heroic Autobot in disguise. So come around to the side. I'm sorry if this video is a lot of me geeking out about Optimus, but well, you guys should know already, I absolutely adore Optimus Prime. He's my favourite Transformer, all time. So next what you're going to want to do is just see these little bits here on the top, just get your finger and separate them, and then plug them in just like that. So that gets them out of the road. Then you're going to want to do is just get your finger here, there's a little notch at the top of this little piece, and you're just going to want to just pull on it, and that will bring this down, and just fold that in, leave it there for the time being. Okay, so we'll do the same thing on the other side. There we go, just unplug that, and then what you're going to want to do is take this whole section here with the bull bar. Now don't be afraid because it is on quite a sturdy piece of plastic, so just give it a little wiggle, just a little one, and then you'll unplug it. And now this is where my personal favourite part comes in. You swing what will be the arms out, and this is quite interesting. I gotta say, whenever I first saw this completely threw me for a loop. But what you're going to want to do to get the arms out, you would think, oh, you just bend them out. No. What you have to do here is bend. Let me just make sure there's nothing in the road there. What you're going to want to do is bend this up to bring this hinge that way. Rotate the arm down and bring it out like this so you actually can move it up and down like a shoulder. And that is, personally, I didn't expect them to do something like that. It's actually quite clever, dare I say, for one of these Voyager class figures. But do the same thing on the other side. Bring it up, bring it down, rotate around, and we'll just leave the arms like that for the time being. So what you're going to want to do is just bring the front, rotate it 180. There you go. And take the wheels, take the wheels and just fold them in, and then we'll just tuck in there. They don't tab in, but they do tuck in, so you just leave them sitting there. There we go. What I do is turn this. Oh wait, no, I'm losing my mind. I've already done that step. So just turn that around, and it will just sort of rest in this area here. Now you're going to want to take the bull bar and plug it into this bit here to create his back. So just make sure I've lined it up correctly. There you go. You'll know you've got it right when you hear a good hearty click. So I'll just lift the camera up here because it's getting a bit tall. So to finish up his transformation, what you're going to want to do is just come here. There's a little bit here with a peg hole. Just flip that down, which will allow you to flip out his wrists and subsequently his fists. So, oh, and I almost forgot. Take this little bit here and just flip it up, rotate the wrist so it faces forward. I'm saving the best for last here, folks. So, same process, open this little panel, take out the fist, close the panel, flip this over so it covers the gap, bring that down, and then come around here and just flip that down. There we go. Now, I've saved the best for last. So, take the chest, open it up, and then what you're going to want to do is just put pressure and pull up slightly, or pull up this head assembly, and it will peg into place. Flip this down and close the chest over and it will remain at an angle. And there you have Transformers Studio Series, Rise of the Beasts, Optimus Prime. And wow, this guy turned out amazing. I love how the robot mode looks. It is almost pinpoint accurate to how he looked in the movie, especially with the Autobot symbols. If I had one complaint, and it's an extremely minor complaint, these smokestacks are supposed to be facing the other way. You're supposed to turn them so this little part here is actually facing back. But it's a small thing, you know, it doesn't compromise the figure or ruin any of the play factor. Let me tell you, you're going to want to handle this guy because he has so much. He feels good to hold. I can't quite explain it, but he just feels good to hold. But Prime does in fact come with accessories, which I neglected to mention at the start because they look better in robot mode. He comes with his sword, painted in a lovely looking silver plastic, and his blaster. Now, I'm not sure what the blaster's called in the movie, but I like to use my imagination, so I came up with something like the Quasar Blaster, or I don't know, like Quark Cannon, just something that rolls off the tongue. And besides, I love the way the gun sounded. You'll see that scene where the Autobots meet the Maximals for the first time, and Optimus encounters Primal, and he goes, "Stand down, I won't ask a second time." And then you hear his gun, like, it goes like, like you can just see it rotate round. Oh, it looked so cool. It was like he was loading in the chamber, just ready to deliver the smackdown. But I apologize if my enthusiasm is a bit unrelaxing and all, but I love Optimus. Love it, and I love this figure. This figure's so good. But let's talk posability. Prime is actually rocking a pretty good set of poses, or posability, because his head is on a ball joint, so can move completely unimpeded 360. He can look up that far and down that far, so you can get a pretty diverse range of head motions out of him. Shoulders can move up that far, though I suppose if you wanted to cheese it, you could orient them so they were in the truck position, and that might give you a bit more shoulder movement. I don't know, but arms and the forearms can rotate full around, bend that far. The rest can in fact swivel because it is, well, it's unimpeded. I don't know all my joints, so forgive me if I just kind of look at the pictures and wing out on this one, folks. So, likewise, his legs can move out about, yeah, because they're slightly impeded by the skirts. You could force a full split, but it would pop off the skirt pieces, and I don't want to do that in case it makes a loud noise. So, legs could, say, do the full split. They can move up that far for a pretty high kick, and the foot can do a really mean pivot. So, posability wise, this is a prime example of good posability, folks. You have permission to boo me in the comments. But in regards to this figure, let's do, you know what? Let's do a little posing thing. Let's pose him up in a cool pose. Let's replicate that one from the movie where he faces off with Primal. I'm just going to stick the sword, because the sword is interesting in that you can tab it in multiple ways. You can have him either holding it, that you can just have it fit in his hand like a normal sword. You can plug it into this little bit here so it kind of looks like it's coming out of his forearm. Just put that in there so you can wield that like that. Or for a third option, you can plug it into this little port here on either arm. So for the sake of the picture, I'm going to plug it in here since this is how it's oriented a lot of scenes in the movie. And oh, I forgot to actually mention his waist can rotate the full 360, but that's probably because of the transformation, but it still allows you to do stuff like a fake ab crunch. So if you want, you can kind of have him looking down. Granted, it does look a little bit off, but still an ab crunch on a Voyager in any way, shape or form, that's actually pretty cool. It's pretty rare, I'd actually say. So let's do the pose where, let's see, rotate the head so it's facing slightly forward. Bring the arm down so we can bring bit, and then we flip the wrist in, and then you can plug in his, oops, you can plug in his gun. So we'll just pop that in there, right there we go. And then you can have him replicate the stand down scene when he first meets Optimus Prime in the woods. And this Prime is ridiculously photogenic. I actually shot a little photo shoot last night. I showed to my good friend Alex on Discord, where I took a photo shoot of Optimus Prime and Scourge facing off, replicating that scene where he catches Prime's axe and forces it down to him. And I love that part. Prime's like, impossible, and Scourge just taunts him like, I enjoy that look of confusion when an inferior being meets a higher power. And just kicks him in a big explosion. Ooh, that scene was amazing. I love everything about that movie. Like, it's, dare I say, it's one of my perfect movies. But that is pretty much it for Prime's robot mode, and what a stunning figure. Like, I'd say the robot mode is easily the best part of the figure. And I forgot to mention, you can actually store his weapons on his back using these little ports. You can put the gun in here, and you put the sword here, which I will show, because I want to make this video like a comprehensive look, so I don't want to leave any stone unturned. Plus, I know you guys enjoy Transformers a lot. I mean, you're subscribed to me in the first place, so I guess it stands to reason that we all share a little hobby here, folks. But just stick the sword in, and then you can take his quasar cannon, is that what to call it? And there's a little tab right here you can see, and it will just fit into this little hole, so you can store them on his back. So, you know, storage. You know, if you don't like it, it's always an option there if you want to have it. So let's just pop those off, and let's do the reverse transformation. So going back into vehicle mode, still pretty simple in all things. We'll just leave that there for the time being because it's part of the transformation. So come around to the fists, open them up, and just close them over. You know, I think I'll have a wee ramble about the movie while I do this, but I'll keep the transformation visually clear so you guys know what to do, just in case my rambling is distracting. But I have to say, I absolutely loved how the director, Stephen Cable Jr., just brought this new life to Transformers. So Travis Knight, I would have loved to have seen him come back for a Bumblebee 2 or a direct sequel to Bumblebee. But Stephen Cable Jr., I was a little bit concerned at first because he did Rocky movies, and the Rocky movies are good, don't get me wrong, very good movies. But I wondered, how would that translate into a Transformers film? Well, turns out Stephen, he did his homework. He read the source material and he absolutely loved the characters, even giving his own take on Optimus. He wanted Optimus to be, you know, the hero character, the one that we all know and love, but he wants him to grow. You know, this Optimus, he's been stuck on Earth for 7 years, and he's, I wouldn't say bitter, but he's definitely homesick, and he feels like it's all his fault. And Stephen really wanted to replicate that feeling of just, I wouldn't say hopelessness, but desperation for Optimus, that he wants to do right by his Autobots, which I think was a really interesting way to show the character in a new sort of scenario that tests him in a regard, and it makes him accepting humans as allies at the end even more satisfying. It's that scene where Noah catches him as he's about to go into the destroyed transport tower, and then it plays Arrival to Earth as he rides away with Prime, and oh man, that ended so good. I loved it. It's like I actually got very emotional whenever I heard the little music they play at the end, because for me that's the music that signifies, yeah, the day's been saved and the Autobots have won the battle, saved the day. And oh, it made me so emotional just to see my boys back on the big screen yet again, and Optimus as well, back and better than ever. So yeah, we're pretty much done with the cab. Oh, there's a little. Ooh, that was a nice click. You know, it's like when you meet someone and you just click with them. You know, you have shared interests and hobbies. It's the little things in life that just really make you happy, and people click over that. You know, even if they don't directly know what it is that you're interested in, you can always get them interested because of your passion for it. You know, take me for example. I have a friend on Instagram who, truth be told, I have no interest in art as like a medium in regards to me taking it. You know, I always appreciated stuff like film and art, literature and the like, but when I really slowed down and I talked to this person and she taught me all about sketching, she taught me about line art, the process, sketching, references and everything, and it really just opened my mind to this whole new creative world. This brilliant world of other like-minded people where we could just express ourselves the way we see fit. We can tell the stories we want to tell. We can make worlds using nothing but pen and paper. You know, that's why I say, if it makes you happy, go for it. Life's too short to say no to the adventures of life. There's a new place that opens up down the road and you want to check it out, go for it. You want to go see a movie with your best friend or your lover? Absolutely, go for it. You know, life's too short to leave any regrets. That's why I'm so happy to be doing what I'm doing here. Even just recording these videos for you guys and showing this little passion of mine to the world, and for it to reach so many people is truly inspiring and humbling. So I feel like, let me just make sure everything's all lined up and even. Yep, we have officially transformed Optimus Prime back into his vehicle mode. Now, I was going to show the weapon storage, but it would ultimately be kind of pointless because what happens is you would split the legs and the sword would just sort of rest in a tab in here and it would stick out, but I can't show you the gun because the gun pegs into this little bit here. I just rotate it upright and there you go. It just kind of sits there, but without any further ado, this has been my video on the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Voyager class Optimus Prime. And this is Autobot ASMR signing off once again. Autobots, transform and roll out to bed till all are one.